I just turned my camera on and now it's dying. Take two. I feel so nice and cozy right now. I've got a chair that I stole from my parents. They don't use it, so I'm waiting until I get a beanbag chair. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys all my 5-star reads, as you would see from the title. A lot of these I have talked about, some of these I haven't really. I don't know, it's just very mixed. The more books I've read, I've actually started to become a bit more stricter with my ratings with books, because my 5-star reads now are reserved for books that are amazing, love them so much, and I know that every time I reread the book I will love it no matter what. So I'm going to talk about them today. There are some books that in the past I said were 5-star reads, but obviously going back and either rereading them again and being like, no, or just looking at the books and be like, was it really a 5-star read? Because right now I can see some issues with the books. We're gonna get right into this video because I'm pretty sure you guys know how this video works and what I'm gonna be talking about. First book from my 5-star reads is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I love this book so much. It is in my top 5 fave romance books ever. It's number 1. I love Bree, I love Archer, I love the small town feeling, I love the characters so much, and I love the dog. I've actually forgotten what the dog is called. I'm gonna need to go back and reread this because it is due to reread this book and re-annotate everything, you know, and just put all my thoughts in this. This is actually the first book that I decided to not just tab but also underline. I was like, you know what, let's give it a go, we're gonna see what happens. And so I just chose to do it with this book and I did not regret it one bit. If I could give this book 1,000,000 stars, I would. Actually, because it's my rating system, I'm giving it 1,000,000 stars because I love it so much. I like the little references with the dandelions on the front. Love it, so good. I know there's a second book in this series who is based off Archer's cousin Travis. It's supposed to be like a redemption arc kind of book. I don't know how I feel about him getting a redemption arc because I already hated him in this book and I don't think I want to read it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. I think the only reason I would actually read his book is just to see Bree and Archer if they are in it, and I hope they're in it because I need more of them in my life. The next book is kind of thick, but I enjoyed every single second of it and I need to reread it. I feel like a lot of these books I need to reread because I want to tap them. The next book is From Lukov with Love. Why is that such a hard thing to say? I read this book I think at the start of last year. Yes, it did take me a little while to get through because at the time I thought it was like thick. It is thick, but I feel like this is like a normal size for me now, and also the writing is pretty big in the book, so I feel like it would have been very easy to get through. I've only read 2 of Mariana Zapata's books and this one by far and so far is my favorite. I love Ivan and Jasmine so much. They are just the sweetest couple ever, and the slow burn in this book, it just makes me kind of forget that I want to get them together because I just love their little like friendship relationship kind of thing, just the way they talk to each other. It's just so worth the slow burn. I wouldn't call it enemies to lovers because enemies to lovers is reserved for fantasy books, but it's definitely just hate each other to lovers, hate to lovers. Both the characters are grumpy and I just absolutely love that. It's not grumpy over the top, it's just mainly grumpy to each other, you know, and kind of other things as well throughout the book. If you're doing like Grumpy Sunshine but the girl's grumpy, I've only read it like maybe 2 times in a book, but it just can be very over the top and it's like they weren't even grumpy, they were just annoying. Next book is a mystery kind of book and it's one of my favorite series of all time. Not my favorite series of all time because that is reserved for Throne of Glass and Throne of Glass only. My next 5-star read is the Hawthorne Legacy, which is part of the Inheritance Games trilogy, if you did not know. Or was it a series? Jennifer Lynn Barnes said that the Hawthorne brothers was not part of the Inheritance Games series, but it just focuses on like the characters, but it's like completely different like storyline and all that stuff. We go on like Amazon or anything else and it says that it's part of the series. I don't know if it's actually the 4th book because the author said no, but everywhere else it says it's the 4th book. This is the only book in the series that I gave 5 stars because the first book was pretty good. It was just kind of slow for me when I first read it and I was like, I don't know if this is actually worth it. Towards the end, I absolutely loved it. This book, the hot tub, that's all I'm gonna say. hot tub. Overall, the series is a 5 stars for me, but if I just had to choose one of the books, it would definitely be this one because it's the only book I gave 5 stars. Obviously, I loved it so much and I can't wait for Hawthorne Brothers to come out. Very, very excited. This does have a love triangle in it, but the love triangle is so worth it because I'm not really a fan of love triangles because they're never done well. But Jennifer Lynn Barnes does love triangles so well. So freaking well. Oh my god. I loved it. But I didn't know who to choose, but by the end, I was happy with it. But if she ended up with the other brother, I still would have been happy with it. I would have been very, very happy with it. So let's stay on the subject for mystery, but we're gonna go on to murder mystery. My next book is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. If you do not know about this book, or if you haven't read it yet, please go read it. It is so good. This is a YA murder mystery and it's just amazing. I loved every single second of it. I love the way that Holly Jackson had formatted the book. Everything about it was so good. I loved following along with Pip on obviously the murder mystery of who actually did it or if it really was Sal. Obviously Ravi was just like, I'm gonna help you, you know, help me, I'll help you, you help me. If you haven't seen yet, this is becoming a TV show with I think BBC, but the casting is so good. Colleen Hoover could never. I'm sorry, but she could never. But Holly Jackson did an amazing job. They are exactly how I would picture them. Well, not exactly, but they are very similar to how I would picture them. I was kind of a little upset at the start when I can't remember the actress's name. I'm so bad with names. But the one who's playing Pip, her hair is originally short and I had thought that they would give her extensions for her hair. Because I think her hair is like, it's a bob. I'm actually okay with it now. I've grown to love it and I'm so excited. The clothing is amazing. The friends, I still haven't figured out who is who. I think 2 characters I know, but everyone else, I don't remember. The next 2 books are part of a series. If you separate them, they're part of 2 series, but when you put them together, it's a whole series. And that is Hot House Flower and Addicted for Now. I gave both these books 5 stars. They're my only 5 stars as of right now from the series. I've got 4 more books left. This one was probably my favorite out of the Addicted series because there was more development from Lily and Lo, you know, in this book with their addictions, and I just loved seeing that. This book just made me feel happy, sad, angry, all the emotions, and I absolutely loved that. The first book, I'm pretty sure I gave like 5 stars, but I put it down to maybe like a 4.5. But then I have Hot House Flower. I love Ryke and Daisy. I know so many people have issues with the ages and all that. I'm here to tell you, Ryke didn't do anything to Daisy when she was underage. Okay, yes, she turned 18, she's an adult, and then he got right with her, but she could have been like, no, I don't want it, no. But it was her decision. She's an adult, even though she's a new adult, doesn't matter. So I love them. I love the adventurous side. I felt like it was very refreshing in this series because in this one we have obviously Lily and Lo with their addictions, but it's also like about their comics and all that and just things that they love, which I loved. And then you have Rose and Connor, who are all about their fashion and being so like smart and proper and all that stuff. Didn't really vibe with them, but I still love them. I just didn't enjoy Kiss the Sky. I do need to finish both the series. It has taken me 2 years to read these books. It is taking me a very long time just to read like any series at all. But I've got, obviously if you've seen my wrap up and TBR, I've put Addicted for Now. No, I've put Addicted After All on my TBR. So I feel like I'll get around to reading those ones. I feel like this is everyone's 5-star read. Not everyone's, but majority. If you look at someone's 5-star reads. And that is Love in Other Words. I got this cover from Book Depository because there was nowhere else. I do like the new cover though. It's nice. Don't like the one we have here. It's ugly. Macy and Elliot. Love them. Love them so freaking much. Oh my god. Forgot how big the writing is and just the cozy vibes of this book. I literally could start rereading this book right now with my blanket on, with me snuggled up with my blanket, close my blinds, put on a light, put on some fireplace ambience and just read this book. Like I said, I need to reread a lot of these books. I also did underline in this one. I don't know if I read this one first or Archer's Voice. Actually, did I underline in this book? Yes, I did. Okay, it's Past and Present, Friends to Lovers, Childhood Friends to Lovers, Second Chance Romance. It was very good. This is probably the only second chance romance I've actually liked, because a few other ones I was like, no, I didn't. No, those other ones were no. This book I read it quite a while ago. I still put it as my 5-star read because every time I think about it, actually I don't really think about this book anymore. If I look at it and someone talks about it, I'm like, oh, that was a good book. But I do need to reread it. But I'm still adding it in because from what I remember of the book, absolutely loved it. And that is Dance of Thieves. I did a reading vlog, my first ever reading vlog of this book a very long time ago. I still have the video up, you can go watch it. My updates were terrible. Everything about that video was terrible. I'm just gonna keep it up because, you know, it was my first reading vlog. You can see like progression and all that stuff from it. I did get the second book finally because it was out in paperback, I'm pretty sure last year. Obviously different publishing company, so that's really annoying. This was so good. I felt like this was more of a cozy fantasy kind of thing because there were high-ish stakes in this book. It wasn't like a high fantasy kind of thing. There wasn't any battle scenes. I don't know if I would really call this romance because the only thing that I remember in this book was poisonous dogs. That was it, but it was also kingdoms in this, so I think that's why they call it like a romance, but I call it like a cozy fantasy. I love Kazi and Jace in this book. I have a fan art drawing or fan art work on the side of my bookshelf because I love them so much, or I love them. The next book that I have for my 5-star reads is Red, White and Royal Blue. There is like no words for this book. I loved it. I'm very excited for the movie. I saw a sneak peek thing that Amazon Prime had posted on TikTok and I'm actually very excited for it. I'm not happy with the casting of Alex. If I can see the chemistry between them, then I'll be happy with it. Oh my god, my leg is falling asleep. Oh no. I tried to do a reread of this. I get so far in. I got like 200 pages in and I just stopped. I couldn't do the long chapters. I did it the first time and I was flying through them. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then I reread it and I just couldn't do it. I tried so hard. Like, I was enjoying it so much because I love Alex and Henry. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going for them. And yeah, I feel like I should reread it before the movie comes out so I can see like differences and just be that person that was like, I read it before the movie came out. I'm already that person because I read it before it came out, but you know, I can spot like whatever is different in them. I'm very excited for the cake scene and the was it horse polo with the horses. I know Henry does it and like they met up later. I was just like, oh my god, that had me internally screaming. And I loved it. Second to last books I'm going to be talking about is Juniper Hill. This is part of the Eden's standalone series. You can read these books out of order, but I do recommend reading them in order. This one is my favorite so far. I know there's going to be 6 books in the series. I've read the first 3. This book is just so good. The small town vibes, the single parent living at a guy's house or living upstairs from his garage. Knox is just such a sweetheart. I love him so much. I need him to make me some macaroni and cheese. I want to know how good that is because I do have the box ones. But yes, I loved the vibes in this book and the characters are amazing. I'm very excited to continue the Eden series. I just haven't been in the mood to read the rest just because of the mixed reviews that I've seen, and I'm like, you know, and after Gun of Flats I was just like it's great. If you haven't read this one, definitely go read it. Also, there's no 3rd act breakup in these books. They're mature adults, they know how to handle their shit. That was so refreshing to see. So I just have like a frog in my throat. It's very refreshing to see. The last 2 books, if you know me, you know me. I love this series and I love these books. First one is Queen of Shadows. The second one is Empire Storms. I recently finished this because I finished my tandem read. Can you see all those tabs? Like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful to see? just all these tabs. This book is probably my favorite in the entire series, even though I haven't read Kingdom of Ash yet. Give me 6 months to recover from Empire Storms, okay? And then Empire Storms is second favorite. I'm a bit iffy on Heir of Fire because I don't remember much of that book at all. I am not gonna lie. I am doing a reread of the series. I've probably mentioned that so many times, but because I got the US versions of the books, I decided that I wanted to reread them and tab them. I was gonna do that anyways, but I'm really sad that when I was reading the UK version of the book, I didn't start tabbing it because I loved every single second of that book, of this book. But obviously this came in time, like after I finished Queen of Shadows, and I'm like, I need to go back and read it. But I'm reading the series back in order. You know what, once I finished all these books, I will go to Kingdom of Ash because I feel like I just need to understand a bit more. But I love my high fantasy with the subplot of romance because they do it so well. Also, I don't understand why people don't like her writing. I don't see a problem with the writing. I think it's good. But obviously from the start, like Throne of Glass and Assassin's Blade, those were her first books. But as you keep reading, the writing does get better. You know what? I can see why people don't like the writing. But then you get past the first book. I forgot one more. How freaking rude of me. The Mind F series. I'm so disorganized. I finished the 4th and the 5th book a couple days ago, and this whole series is just 5 stars. Loved it. If you can tell by the end of it, I just didn't tab much, so you can definitely see which books were my favorite. First, second, and third were my favorite books. A lot of these books are 4 or 4.5, but the whole entire series as a whole is 5 stars. Absolutely love it. If you love Criminal Minds, if you love Dexter, this book is for you. I loved it. It was so good. Lana Myers can do no wrong. I stand by women's rights and their wrongs. And this was just like a whole bunch of wrongs, but I don't care. Her wrongs are her rights. It is a dark romance, so search up trigger warnings for anything included, because Criminal Minds, Dexter themed kind of thing, you do want to set up trigger warnings. That is it for today's video. I'm very glad that I survived through that, and I hope it wasn't chaotic because I kept forgetting about books, and also I kept having to stop because of the freaking loud ass people in this house. Yeah, this is why I film when no one's home. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff that you would usually do, and I'll see you guys in my next video.